Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of From the Hearts of Men radio show / podcast. I am your host, Kocysha LaShaun. And as you know, this is our last episode, but I am so happy to have my special guest on today, Mr. Harry Jamison. He is an awesome man that I just happened to meet through another guy. We did an interview together. I love his energy and I love what he does, and he's going to share a little bit more of that. So get ready, tune in, Mr. Harry. Thank you so much for being my guest and for
Not
being
a
my last
problem.
guest. I'm so thankful for you to grace my stage and just give us a little bit of information about who you are.
Well, like Kocysha said, I'm Harry Jamison. People in the world call me Harry the Big Dog. So if
Right,
you
right.
find me on any social media, I'm Harry the Big Dog. I am a military veteran, 26 and a half years Army. I am a husband, got four kids
Okay.
that I know about.
Okay.
And I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to just talk with you and your audience and hopefully help somebody.
Awesome, awesome. So we did speak briefly. And so what I really want to hone in. So first of all, you are a digital creator. You are, deep in the media world. I think you have 3 radio shows.
Yes, actually
And
four now.
4 now. And I did see one. I think you're also restructuring some things yourself. So
Yes, I
uh
am.
I know one is for DJs, DJ interview,
Hmm.
uh the Veterans Laugh.
Veterans Laughs Matter.
Veterans Laughs Matters. And what are the other 2?
My other two, I have a show where I interview entrepreneurs. It's called Ready Live Pro.
Right.
And my show with Jason Hodge,
Hmm.
the Jason Hodge,
That's right.
and it's called Mastering Your Media. And we just got on the radio and iHeart and a couple of other different outlets about 3 weeks ago, as of this airing of this show.
Oh wow. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So what I really want to hone into, this show is uh, for men to share their stories and to share, how they've been impacted in life, or just to give nuggets of wisdom to other men and women that may be listening. And
Yep.
so what I want to hone in on today, so you told me about your show, Veterans Lives Matter. Did I say that
Yes.
right?
Yes, you did.
Uh, I want to hear more about that because you're a vet yourself. What made you do that show? What is your passion behind that show? What is the purpose of the show? Because we don't hear, I know I personally don't hear a lot about the lives of vets, what they endure. So this is kind of I won't say a new topic to me, but it is something new for this show, definitely. So I want to hear more
Right.
about that.
Okay, so I'll give you the backstory behind it. My last 2 years in the Army, I was what they call a casualty notification officer.
Hmm.
And for those
Oh,
people who don't know what that means, I was the one that had to notify the families of soldiers that got injured or killed.
wow.
So that is, I've never done anything harder in my life than that job right there.
Is that a job
And
you signed up for, or is that
no,
something
I
that just
didn't.
okay?
I didn't, but I got thrown in it and I did my best. It it was one of those things to where you know, like you, and I'm sure a lot of people on this who's listening in or watching never heard of a position like that.
Uh-uh.
But it happens. The police do it, the firefighters do it, the doctors do it.
Right.
And, I just happened to fall into that. And like I said, one of the hardest jobs ever. So, in saying that, I did that for 2 years and I seen a lot of tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those people who know me that are listening, they know I'm a happy, all the time
Right.
smiling person. But for a 2 year span, when people heard from me, it was the worst day of their life.
Wow.
And
Because it
and
affected you that much.
oh, yes, it did. Yes, it did. And believe it or not, we were still in the wartime.
Okay.
This is between 2004 and 2000, actually 2007, 2010
Okay.
is between that time frame. And a lot of the soldiers weren't getting killed overseas. They were taking their own life here in the States.
Mm, mm,
There's been a rash of that. And if you just do a search for suicide in soldiers, you'll see it on average, it's like 21 people a day.
wow.
And a lot of people don't know that, because a lot of people are not military, but
Right,
it,
right.
it was just a rash. And when I came out, I do suffer from PTSD and
Mhm.
severe depression. It might not seem like it all the time, but I get in
Right.
my little dark holes and I understand what they're going through. Except
Mhm.
some veterans take it to the extreme and
Mhm.
just, I don't want to be here anymore. So
Right.
fast forward about 10 years.
Mhm.
I retired in 2010.
Mhm.
Fast forward 10 years to 2020, where I put my first show on. And the thought in my head, getting to your question, the thought in my head is, if I can make somebody laugh, which I normally do, if I
Mhm.
can make some of these soldiers laugh, it may deter them from thinking about taking their own life.
Right. Right.
So I'm getting a little emotional here because every
That's
time I
okay.
tell
That's
these
okay. I
stories,
can't
oh
even
man,
wow, I can't even begin to imagine.
nope, a lot of people cannot. They like I said, they never heard of jobs like this.
Right.
But
I didn't know. I knew people did that, but I
mhm,
didn't know that there was actually a certain position people like specifically assigned to that.
yeah. And you're talking about all types of people, from the young kids to chaplains that been in the military for 30 plus years. Find them hanging in the closet because they took their own life. And
Wow.
I don't think anything is that bad in this world. There's always a tomorrow.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, a friend could call, something can happen that could change everything, and you just took away all your tomorrows.
Right. Right.
So,
Wow.
so I I had it in my head to, what if I can make some of these veterans laugh?
Mhm.
Take that thought away
Mhm.
just for a little while, just to get
Right.
past the bad times, because around the holidays is when they start thinking about that, because some of them are lonely. Some of
Mhm.
them think nobody loves me,
Mhm.
and all of this stuff. When there is help out there, there are people that care about you. You just think nobody does. So I thought, let me do a comedy show.
Mhm.
And mind you, all of this happened in about 6 days.
Okay.
6 days. I had the thought. I called Jason and I called one of my other partners, Chris
Mhm.
Gloss.
Okay.
I'm like, what do you guys think about this? There's like, it's a good idea. I was like, good, because it's going to happen anyway.
Right.
So I set a date. It was 6 days later. I got on the phone. I did what I did. I learned Eventbrite right quick.
Okay.
I sold 97 tickets.
Wow.
I I got 60 something, 50 or 60 people on the call.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it was a Zoom just like this.
Okay.
I had 5 comedians come on, do 10 minutes each. It was
Mm-hmm.
clean.
Mm-hmm.
I had everybody do clean comedy so
Gotcha.
I could be able to post this different
Right.
places. But I end up not posting it because it was personal to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was shared with only the people that were there and the
Gotcha.
comedians.
Gotcha.
Everybody had such a good time. I had about 25 of the people call me the next day or the
Mm-hmm.
same night. Half of those people were thinking about ending it.
Wow.
And needless to say, I cried like a baby.
Wow. Yeah, I bet.
Because it doesn't only affect you, it affects a parent, a husband, wife,
Right.
children, if you have friends. It's just so more than you. You're
Right.
uh, I'm not being mean, but you're being selfish
Mm-hmm.
because of something you're going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you have help. You have somebody to talk to. There's all type of 800 numbers, especially
Right.
for veterans. And this goes out for anybody. This is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a veteran, so I'm referring to veterans,
Right.
but
And that's okay.
to anybody, you have to have somebody. If you don't have anybody, there are 800 numbers out there and somebody will talk to you.
Right. Right.
So it
So
was a
you
success. Oh man. But it was so hard that I couldn't do it the next year. And the next year
what
was 2021 because it took so much out of me that first time. It lingered on and I was just burnt. But this year in 2022, in I'll say December, same time frame between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we're gonna do another one because I feel it's time.
right. And before the end of the show, I'll have you share your information. And I want to make sure people listening know how to stay tuned for when you announce that. Um, wow, so that does take a lot of emotional
Oh
strength.
man.
To do that, not only to do what you were doing in a job, but then now you moving into how can I give back to this community? How can I help decrease this number of individuals that are taking their lives? Um, so tell me, so what kind of is your passion? What's your driving force? Why do you want to uh, see, or I guess let me put it like this. For those of us who are listening that are, regular citizens, non-military, what are
Right.
some things that we can do different in dealing with vets um, and understanding better their emotional journey, so to speak? What are things that we can do differently or look forward to be of more help? Because obviously, as you said yourself, those on the outside, we don't know completely or understand what you all
Right.
go through or have been through. But at the same time, obviously y'all are husbands, y'all are fathers, so you're in lives with people who are not, in military. So what are some things that we as citizens or, as women, as sisters, as wives, what can we do to help you all in that journey, especially once you've gotten out of the military?
Right. But that's a hard question to answer. And I say that because a lot of military don't don't feel comfortable speaking to civilians. They feel comfortable speaking to another soldier. because that other soldier understands.
Right,
But
right.
there is one thing, and it is just too easy to do, that regular people,
Hmm.
human society can do, is just smile.
Wow. Okay.
Smiling goes a long, long, long way. And
Wow.
if you noticed, pretty much this whole show, except that little portion, I'm always smiling. You
Yes.
noticed that when
Right,
we
right.
interviewed the first time.
Right, right. That's why I say I love your energy.
Yeah. And it's just a smile says, you know, it's a gesture that says it's okay to talk to
Right. Hmm.
me. Just smiling. And some people need that. Now, some soldiers are really, really messed up, and
Hmm.
they should get the help. There is help out there. There's the Veterans Administration.
Hmm.
Some say they're bad, some say they're good. I've experienced both.
Hmm.
So you got to work with what you have, but there is help out there. So the veterans seek help, but just smiling helps. Listening helps. If you
Gotcha.
do get a soldier to open up to you,
Hmm.
they may have seen something in you,
Hmm.
or heard something in you for them to open up
Right. Right.
and just listen without any judgment,
Hmm.
because they've been used and abused by the system sometime, and judged, after they got out, just for being a soldier,
Right.
being a veteran. And for some it is just hard
Hmm.
to come back into regular society. Yeah, I haven't worked for anybody since I left the military, because although I'm a nice person, I'd probably be a difficult employee.
Gotcha. So Harry,
Eh,
tell us, so what are some things that you've done? So, I hear we talk a lot about, people talk a lot about affirmations or, changing something in your environment, being around certain people. What are some things, if you don't mind sharing, that you've implemented to help you stay energized, to help you stay happy? I know you said you do have your dark moments, but for the most part, you like to smile, you like to laugh, you like to be jolly. So, what are some things that you implemented to help you be that way?
Positive thinking.
Hmm.
I think everything is going to be okay. I think everything is going to work out. That is my thought.
Hmm.
If I thought the other way,
Right.
like a battery with two negative terminals, and
Hmm.
oh, this ain't gonna work, or that ain't gonna work, and you'll put yourself in a deeper hole. And that advice goes for everybody.
Hmm.
There are days when you don't feel like it. There are
Hmm.
days when people are getting on your nerves,
Hmm.
whether it's bosses, spouses, kids, friends. But just positive thinking, it that's what does it for me. Like I said, I think everything is going to work out. If it does or not, I think it's
Right.
going to work out.
How long did it take you a while to grasp that? Like some people, it may be their upbringing or obviously based on whatever they've seen and they've seen it for so long, it's like that's all they know. How can, what are your thoughts on how can somebody break free of that negative thinking to even start thinking positively? How do you make that transition?
Couple of things. Stop being around negativity.
Okay.
And that may be hard for some people. You
Especially if
may
it's
you
family or friends.
right. If it's
Right.
family, friends, you got to take care of you first
Hmm.
before you can take care of other people. They tell you that if you ever rode a plane and
Hmm.
that air mask drops, put it
Right.
on you before you help somebody else. So that's one of them. Just uh whew, it is so much. I know we're limited on time, but it's just so much to do. And we maybe we can make this a part two.
We might be able to, because actually what I'm getting ready to go into, we can definitely do that. For the new show, we can definitely set up a time to do that. Yeah.
But get away from the negative people and start being around more positive people.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe in the affirmations, which I do,
Mm-hmm.
some people don't, but if you
Right.
believe in them, I am great. I am
Right.
great. Smile, smile all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Smile. Let people see you are turning into a different person. It's not going to come overnight, to answer your
Right.
question
Right.
directly. It's not going to come overnight. It works in time.
Mm-hmm.
People will start to see how you're changing, how you're not being bothered with things. Don't let a lot of things stress you out. Even though I say it in my mind, I don't let things bother me. Things do bother me. I
Mm-hmm.
don't show it as much, but they do bother. But make it less and less, because your favorite team lost. That shouldn't devastate your whole life. Your
Right.
favorite, sports team, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever, that shouldn't affect your whole life or ruin your whole week.
Right.
And I'm talking from experience because I'm a New York Giants fan, football.
Mm-hmm.
And when my Giants lost, the rest from Sunday on until they won again, it
Oh
was
wow.
just, so I'm not speaking as a person that ain't been through this. I used to be a really mean person. You nobody would ever know it. Knowing me now. And
Right.
I'm going back 20, 25 years ago. I was like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was a gradual change. You
Right.
start to grow up, you start to get in situations, you have family, you get married, you get with somebody, and you make those changes
Mm-hmm.
gradually.
Wow. I love it. Thank you so
Mm.
much for opening up and sharing that. Any last words of wisdom? There may be somebody, struggling now, that's listening, or any last words of wisdom before we near the end?
Find somebody to talk to. There is got to be somebody you can talk to that will just listen without judgment.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people go through a lot of things, and just to have somebody to talk to sometime helps. Even whether it's a mental health person,
Okay.
don't be afraid of that. And I know it's a stigma with our color
Right.
that you don't talk. I talk to one on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they help. And some of them, I think, they need help. They should be on the other side of this this chair.
Gotcha.
But find that person to talk to, and just say, if you're not afraid, and hopefully the person you talking to is not that person that soon as they hear something, they're already putting it on social media or planning on who
Oh,
they're gonna tell.
right.
You know, everybody doesn't get those conversations, but there's got to be somebody. And like I said, even the mental health person that will help out.
Right. Right. What would you say to, what would be your thoughts as far as reminding them that, they're still here? So that means obviously they still have a purpose. How would
Yeah.
you encourage someone in that way too?
again, a difficult question because some people are different, because
Mhm.
some people just won't listen no matter what you tell them. You can
Right,
tell them they're great, they're gifted, their skills, and they just, no, I'm not. And somehow that person has to help and realize, maybe I am. Enough people done told me. It wasn't just this
right,
one person. And it's got to be a two-way street. You
right,
you
right.
have to want it too.
True, true. Okay.
So that's why it's a hard thing, because
And that's
there's
understandable
some
because
people. Yeah.
you can talk to your blue in the face and you can
Yeah.
really be all for that person, but that's something we have to be careful of. You don't want to be so much for someone that's not for themselves. It's only you have to make sure you're not depleting yourself too much
Mm-hmm.
trying to pour into someone else. And
Yep.
there and you know, for me, I would say, hey, sometimes you just have to pray for them in the background, and
Yeah.
hopefully they'll see the light. Uh, but yeah, that's we can only do so much. But at the
Yeah.
same time, like you said, know that there are people out there who want to help. Sometimes it may be people that you would least expect. You
Yep.
know, a lot of times we don't know who will help until we ask. And a lot of times too, especially when you said, being careful of the people that go to social media, watch, observe, gauge people's behaviors to see, who's trustworthy of sharing and opening with,
Hmm.
before you do that. So thank you so much, Harry. I truly appreciate that. So I definitely want you to share, how can people get in touch with you? And also, how can they get in touch with you to find out about your event coming up in December?
You can get in contact with me. I'm mainly a Facebook person, so if
Okay.
you go to the search bar, type in Harry the Big Dog, you'll find me.
Mm-hmm.
Big Dog is one word, not DAWG. Is the regular spelling, Big Dog. Um, Also on YouTube and Facebook, I have my Veterans Laughs Matter communities.
Okay.
So again, any one of them, type in Veterans Laughs Matter and
Okay.
you'll
Is that a
find it
group
and
they
just
can
connect.
join?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
It's a page. I have a page, and I think I have a open group, but I know
Okay.
I have a page, and my YouTube, all you have to do is subscribe.
Okay. And is that where you'll be sharing information for?
Yes.
Okay. So
The
y'all get
event
that.
won't be there, but the information leading to the event
Right.
will be there.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much again, Harry, for being on the show today. Thank you all who have been listening faithfully over since last year. We had a bit of a break, and we're actually getting ready to switch to something else. And yes, Harry, for the new show, I will definitely bring you back to get into more of this whole mental transitioning and all of
Yeah.
that. So because that's what the show is going to be about, helping people break through
Okay.
different things. So you would be perfect for that. Um, but again, thank y'all so much for being faithful listeners, for your encouragement and your support throughout through these. I think this is the 17th episode. I think so.
Okay.
Thanks to all the guys, to all of you who have been guests and who have trusted me with your life stories and sharing and opening up. I truly, truly appreciate it. So, with that being said, thank you for tuning in to From the Hearts of Men radio show slash podcast. Thank you. Be blessed, stay safe, and remember to be a blessing to someone else.